Welcome to Creepypasta Theater, a show where we explore the strange world of creepypasta. Join us as we hear tales best left untold, travel roads best left unexplored, and see sights best left unseen. Today's episode will feature 3 short ghost stories. These stories can be found on creepypasta.wikia.com and are protected by Creative Commons license. The Black Lady of Bradley Woods. Author unknown. Retrieved from Urban Legends Online. I grew up in a large town in Lincolnshire, England. As kids, we used to play in an area on the outskirts of town called Bradley Woods. Within it is an ancient-looking, abandoned cottage next to a pond, and we told a story about it that went like this. Hundreds of years ago, a poor woodsman lived in the cottage with his wife and baby. They were happy until the woodsman was pressed into military service by the local landowner during the English Civil War. The woodsman's wife waited and waited for months for any news of her husband, but none ever came. On New Year's Day, a group of soldiers on horseback came riding through the woods, part of a force that had been plundering the surrounding countryside. Finding the cottage, they broke in and demanded the woodsman's wife hand over all her money and any strong drinks she might have. When she refused, the soldiers beat and raped her savagely before taking her baby and riding off, laughing wickedly. From that day on, the woman dressed in black roamed the woods searching for her missing child, accosting anyone she met and begging them for any news of her baby. She soon earned a reputation as being quite mad, so people began to give the woods a wide berth. The woodsman never returned home, and the woman continued to roam the woods, desperately searching for her lost baby until the day she died. Legend has it that her ghost still wanders the woods today, and if anyone is brave enough to enter them on New Year's Day and shout, Black Lady, I've stolen your baby," 3 times, the woman shall appear and confront them. The Doughboy. Author unknown. It's been said that in the Argonne forest in France, on just the right day in the summer, you will hear distant thunder and meet a man in old military gear shrouded in fog. He will motion you to follow him. If you don't, your corpse will end up found in the forest. Cause of death, apparent lacerations due to shrapnel wounds. If you follow him, you will survive. He will take you to an open field scarred by craters of the Great War. Eventually, fog will build, and through it, you will see thousands of men charging to their death of machine gun fire. At this point, look at the man you were with. He will nod, and a stray round will rip into him, mimicking his death over 100 years ago. He is the Doughboy, the lost soul of the Great War. He guards the field forevermore, helping lone wanderers find the way out of the forest, but not before reminding them the price of their life in this modern era. Candy for Ghosts. Written by Gomez Capulet. The first Halloween after everyone died was as uneventful as you would expect. I ran naked through the streets, eating stolen candy and drunkenly singing Monster Mash. It's the sort of thing you do when everyone in the world is dead and you've lost everything that matters. Of course, there is no you. There's only me. There's only ever me. The one the sickness left behind to suffer. The second Halloween after everyone died, I was planning on killing myself come New Year. I sat in the ruins of a rich person's home. I think he'd been a doctor or a lawyer or something. I wore his crimson silk bathrobe. I smoked his cigars. I was living what remained of someone else's good life. Then I heard a knock at the door. But of course I didn't. That would have been impossible. Except it happened again. I made my way to the big carved oak door. I slowly turned the brass knob and pulled. A 4-foot-tall mummy stood before me in the doorway. There was a line of other children in various costumes. They stretched halfway down the block. "Trick or treat," was all the ghost in the mummy costume said before I slammed the door in his 10-year-old face. I watched through the blinds as the dead children walked off disappointed. I half expected them to throw eggs or toilet paper, but one by one they faded out of the world until there was nothing but shadow and empty air where they had been. I guess it's true what they used to say about the veil between this world and the next being thinner on Halloween. It's either that or I've gone insane. I'm probably not insane, though. Reality is a sharp knife, which I feel at all times. Anyway, as the old song goes, the years kept coming and they did not stop coming. Each Halloween, the children would arrive at my door in their costumes. I'd sit in the darkness and wait for them to leave. Eventually, the children would head off disappointed. I would be alone in the world again. The dead would be dead. No more uncomfortable reminders of lost hopes and dreams. This year was different. Maybe it's the loneliness that's gotten to me. Maybe I've come to accept that I will be a ghost in the not-too-distant future. Maybe I just miss the way things used to be. This year, I journeyed into the remains of what once was a grocery store. After much searching, I found what I was looking for and carried it home. The "it" in question was a massive bag of caramel and green apple suckers. They were the sort I used to freaking love as a kid. My aunt would give them to me if I stayed still and didn't cry while she cut my hair. This year, when the kids arrived, I was standing in the doorway of that dilapidated mansion, holding a big bowl of suckers. I even donned a pair of plastic vampire fangs I found in the closet. The kids came up to me one by one or in pairs. I would compliment their costumes. They'd thank me for the candy. There wasn't any talk of what happened to them or the world. It didn't matter anymore. Everything was as it was supposed to be. Then the children went away. They were always going to do that. The ghosts in my mind now are my only company. Still, there's always next year. I'll be all right. Happy Halloween, I whispered to myself as I stared drunkenly at the ceiling. Maybe next year, one of those smiling faces will belong to my son. He always liked those suckers too. You have been listening to a presentation of Point of Insanity Game Studio. Visit us on the web at www.poigamestudio.com. Follow me on most social media sites at POI Game Studio. And check out my music channel on YouTube at Al Seeger Music.